But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. The show. My name is Oodles, the host with the most, and joining me today we have the Geordie darling himself. It's Gadget.
Arit.
We've got York's finest, Stig.
Hello.
We've got wherever she's from down south, Candy.
Oh, hello.
I didn't hear her then. Did you hear her?
Yeah, it's just Discord muting, that's all.
Because trying to translate it to English, that's why.
Good, Kent.
I hear that.
You all heard that?
Leave it in. And Biggie has still got the shits. Apparently, shits are scheduled for another month or something like that.
International shit.
In his place, from Sherwood Forest. The man, in fact, from the internet, let's just say. It's Mark Planty Plant.
I'm going to cut his heart out with a spoon. Why a spoon, dear cousin? Because, Dal, you idiot, it'll hurt more.
Yes. How are you doing, mate? Long time no speak.
All right. This is great fun. I don't think there's ever been quite so many of us here when I've been on.
True.
Usually there's at least two of you skiving.
Yeah.
And it's almost always Candy.
Nearly always me, to be fair. I'm a sickly woman. I need time off.
I did actually think you were AI for quite some time.
I mean, it's getting more advanced now. You don't know. Who really knows who's AI and who isn't?
You have to fake a female voice for the show.
That wasn't Gadget doing it.
Yeah. How's everyone been? Because I went on last week. Fantastic show. Loved every second of it. Don't ask me to tell me my favourite bit.
Because you didn't listen to it?
Because I didn't listen to it.
It was fantastic, though.
Great show, I'm sure.
Great support from our host there, ladies and gentlemen.
Best Candyland yet, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, the Candyland was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh,
Fucking unhinged.
maybe I'll script all the way to the end then. That'd be
I've
fantastic.
got publishing houses interested, I've been contacted, so we'll see if it happens.
Get
It's
it on
the hottest
Kickstarter.
new segment online at the moment. People are talking about this hashtags everywhere on the X app. Remember that?
Can't wait for today's.
Yikes.
The X app, fucking hell.
The X app. But do you know what? I'm
Always
really
be Twitter to me.
I'm really scared, and I'm in a place of like deep fear because I don't think I know anyone that can do the news as good as Biggie. But I believe we've got someone that wants to step up to the hockey and try some breaking news.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
Oh, how do you like your news? Oh, how do you like your news? But if you want to know what's happening in the news, get the recording rolling, get my paper shuffling. Baby, you know my news for you is real. Xbox, PS5 and Switch chat. Maybe even a glimpse of my cat. News. How do you like it? All up to date shit. News. How do you like it? Read by some fat git. News. How do you like it? It's everyone's fave bit. Ooh, how do you like your news?
Fucking hell,
Ooh, how do you like your news?
Well done.
Fantastic. So yeah, if the listeners don't realise, Planty's going to do the news. It's Planty's breaking news. So take it away, mate. Get ready.
Just quick, does that make up for me not singing last week, Candy?
Yeah, I mean,
I just top that.
yeah, no one's stopping that.
Nope.
Take note, Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
And in true Biggie style, I haven't read any of this, so we'll see. We'll see what comes of this. Right. Okay. Twitch streamer incites an NYC riot. A YouTuber's facing charges after thousands of people piled into a New York square for a console giveaway event that turned into a riot. 65 people were arrested at the gathering that promised free PlayStation 5s on Friday afternoon, 4th of August.
It's not like gamers to cause trouble, is it?
Sounds
If
fucking
only
lit.
people had listened to the Kaiser Chiefs.
Fucking hate gamers.
The organizer, Twitch
Now you
gaming
want.
streamer Kai Senat? Anybody?
Yeah, Kai
Kids?
Senat.
Nailed it.
Okay. Faces charges of inciting a riot and an unlawful assembly, amongst other charges. Obviously putting his Lego together too soon. The NYPD chief of department, Jeffrey Madry, said following the chaos, the 21-year-old, who has 5.5 million followers on Instagram, and I've still never
Nearly
heard
as
of
much
him,
as us.
rose to fame by creating comedy, inverted commas, based content on YouTube and the streaming service Twitch.
I mean,
In
I've seen,
February,
I've seen some of his stuff. He's an arsehole. It's not comedy. It's just shouting.
these aren't the actions of someone that's funny, are they?
Not really, no.
What is funny? I've seen some people on Reddit like posting videos like from their apartments of what was going on. Like he was trying to get away in a car. There were people hanging on the top of the car as it's kind of blitzing around this corner. It's hysterical. It was a proper full-on riot, like 2,000 people. It was nuts.
Some say this is bigger than storming the Capitol. Some say.
I mean,
Not Trump.
no, but it's certainly stranger.
This is the first time I've even heard of it.
Oh,
Breaking news. Hot off the presses.
I think his whole thing was he was basically going to give away like 10 PS5s. Apparently, they're still
10?
apparently they're still hard to get in America as well. so-
I'm sorry. There's no way he's got a car big enough for 10 PS5s. I'm sorry. That's a fucking lie straight away.
He rented a
one.
transit van and couldn't get them all in.
No
Dro-
way.
Dropped in by one of those military supply aircraft.
Yeah.
Parachuted in.
The Hercules planes and
A
big
box
cars.
that says aid on it.
There's no way you can fit them in a car. Sorry, I'd have called it straight away. I'd have gone, this is not real. Let's not riot, guys.
I know this isn't real because in February he became the most subscribed Twitch streamer of all time and was named Streamer of the Year at the 2023 Streamer Awards. Now, I know that none of those things exist. I know that. As a 43-year-old man, I'm well aware of that fact.
Definitely not real.
Video footage of the hyped-up event shows fights breaking out in Manhattan's Union Square, where rioters hurling stones and chairs at police officers. Is it England away? Climbing into a subway station entrance and tearing down metal barriers.
For a PS5.
They're not even that good, guys.
I mean, you're wrong, but okay.
I've just realised
They're
that
not.
I've edited
They
this
are brilliant.
really badly for you, Planty, because I completely missed out the police chief's quote.
That's all right. And I was going to do it. I was ready to do a Manhattan action and all. I don't know where he's from. He's
Pretty
shipped
sure
in.
the rest is fine. Yikes.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Baldur's Gate 3 is 2023's second biggest Steam launch so far. Yeah, because nobody on your Discord will stop talking about it. So I've got proper FOMO at the minute. Newly released RPG Baldur's Gate 3 has enjoyed the second biggest Steam launch of 2023 so far. The game, which has been in early access for years, was officially released on Thursday on Steam, where it saw a peak concurrent player count of 427,000, according to independent
Fucking
Steam
hell.
tracker SteamDB.
It's gone up from that, and I've just seen this in Punk's Discord. He's put a screenshot of the top 100 most played games on Steam. It's now up to number 2, and today's peak was 810,297.
Fucking hell.
The only Steam game above it is Counter-Strike Go, which is at
Understandable.
1.2 million, which is always that high. But yeah, so it's effectively the most popular game, paid for game on Steam at the minute.
Yeah, because Go's free, innit?
Yeah, it goes free. Like, I mean, in fact, the rest of the top 5 is so it's Counter-Strike Go at 1, Baldur's Gate
Fortnite.
3 at 2, Dota 2, then PUBG, and then Rust. So like
They were just names.
Yeah,
It's just
but it's like
words.
orders of magnitude higher than anything else. Like, it's one of the biggest PC launches ever.
It's funny that because you and Stig clearly ate it. Weird, isn't it?
Oh, it's terrible. It's the worst game ever.
Fucking
Terrible
admit.
actors.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. That makes me feel marginally better.
It's too penisy. There's too much penis in it.
That's a lot of penis.
How is
in
that
it.
a problem?
lot of breasts.
How could that possibly be a problem?
You can
Lot
also,
of-
you can
A
also
lot of
wear
orc shagging.
some nice ladies' underwear if you're a man as well.
Oh yes, full support for
pretty.
cross-dressing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Oh,
My costume cupboard.
Oodles, you can make a gender-fluid elf of your dreams
Finally.
It's
with
it's
with
funny.
huge tits and a massive cock.
It's funny.
I'm looking at my
how,
costume cupboard and I'm looking at my Elgato thinking,
I'm just thinking,
maybe.
It's funny how we're. I was saying it's funny how I noticed your picture in Punk's Discord. I mean, you are not very similar off each other in hours played, and your party is completely different to mine already. Like
Yeah, as well.
Yeah, it's so different. You can go and do so many different things and have
Before we turn into
completely
it,
different
Diablo,
adventures.
Baldur's Gate 3 chat.
Oh yeah, that's
Would you
next
say would you say it's genuinely the best D&D game ever made?
Yes.
Wow.
Cool. More on that next
Okay.
week.
Yeah.
Next.
Just further news, just before we leave that one.
Ooh.
Oodles, you are the gender fluid halfling of my dreams. Anyway, that's fine.
Cheers, babe.
That's all right. Anytime. Fallout, Assassin's Creed, and Final Fantasy are finally coming to Magic the Gathering.
I fucking hate Magic.
I had a pinger then for a few seconds.
Wizards of the Coast has announced that they really fucking love money, and as such, they've got expansions based on Fallout, Assassin's Creed, and Final Fantasy coming to Magic the Gathering.
You mean Wizards of the Coast, known users of the Pinkerton Agency? Those guys.
Yes, those guys.
Yes.
Also creators of
Those
D&D, the people who tried to scam out the fucking nerds this year.
I don't believe you that they like money. I do not believe you.
I mean,
the
Tell you what,
sets
though,
which-
that Magic the Gathering thing, I've seen a lot of it on TikTokies with this famous rapper guy with tattoos on his face. Is that famous? I don't know his name. He bought the One
Post
Ring.
Malone.
That's the guy.
Oh, yeah,
Bought the
that's
One
right.
Ring to rule them all for $2.5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
What a nerd.
What fucking nerd.
Candy would
Yeah, but
definitely
kids
do
to
that.
go
working
Are
men's
you a
club.
millionaire, Candy? You'd definitely be doing that, wouldn't you?
Not
now,
for a
she's
Magic
not
the
a millionaire.
Gathering. Well, maybe for the Fallout one, perhaps.
Candy, you cannot throw shade at any human on this planet. Look at your bed. Look at it.
Hey, come on now. That bed is. There's nothing wrong with that
Come
bed.
on now, it's
And
a
it wasn't
phrase you're
£1
never going to
million.
say on that bed. I'm telling you right now. Telling you, mate.
Like,
You can't throw shade. I can throw shade at him. Everyone else can. You're not allowed.
my
You're
bed
in the
was
same league.
£1 million.
To be entirely fair to Candy, if you've got a gamer bed, you never need to have sex again. I mean, if you've got a gaming bed, you're never going to have sex again. But
Well, why would I? I'm busy as it is.
Too busy. I'd rather have a cup of tea.
Anyway, to the story, I kind of want the Fallout set because
To the story.
I bought the D&D expansion when it came out. I don't play Magic the Gathering. I just like the artwork.
You
and
just like the
cards.
cards.
Yeah.
The cards are
Yeah.
fantastic looking, aren't they? They look way
Yeah.
better than Pokemon's and stuff.
Have you ever played it?
Yeah, I have played it. Yeah, but
Of course he knows the fucking rules. It's Gadget.
It's dull as fuck.
yes.
And you have to do maths and you have to look upside down at numbers. I'm not for it.
Yeah,
I love maths.
I don't mind the Magic the Gathering arena game on the phone or on the PC. That's fine. It's just Hearthstone with more rules.
Oh.
I'm with Candy. Like when I'm playing cards and stuff like that, you want to have a drink, don't you? You don't want to be.
Oh, you can't drink
You
with Magic the
don't want to be
Gathering.
looking at upside down numbers and
Mate,
doing maths
when you go to
piss.
Magic the Gathering tournaments, none of them are old enough to drink anyway, so don't worry about it.
Oh, and if I can smell like that smell-o-vision when you say Magic the Gathering tournament. I can it conjures up an aroma, doesn't it?
What is it, Lynx Africa?
no
No,
amount
well,
of
yeah,
Links Africa will get
covering
rid of that
BO.
stench. Yeah, exactly. The good news for Gadget and Candy is that the Fallout expansion is the first to come out. Quarter 1,
Yay.
2023. Which, like,
How much is that?
like
There'll
what?
be well, it doesn't work like that. You don't buy like a full expansion. You just buy the packs of cards. The packs of cards are like
Just the same as Pokemon then.
£6 each or something like that. And you get like 10 cards in it.
They've copied them, haven't they? Because Magic was the first, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Pack of
Magic
cards
was
is only £1.
the
Quid.
the sets that I buy tend to be about £40, and it's like a big collection of cards.
That's the price of a game. Well, maybe not a good game. But
It is like buying a game. But I just buy them for the art. Like I say, I've got the D&D one.
Yeah.
I've got one of the Warhammer ones.
whatever you say, babe, whatever you say.
The art is good. The art is decent
Yes.
on them. I wouldn't know what to do with them beyond that.
Next.
Trap virgins with them, maybe. I don't know. G.I. Joe is getting an Axis and Allies game. In the crossover that no one saw coming or gives a fuck about, G.I. Joe will be getting an Axis and Allies game, whatever those words mean. At Gen Con this weekend, which is obviously Geriatrics Con, Renegade Game Studios announced G.I. Joe Battle for the Arctic Circle. Who the fuck wants the Arctic Circle? It's getting smaller every year. Like, are they just going to be on one little ice floe with a polar bear?
The opposite of an expansion pack, like a reduction pack.
Yes.
Like
a new game powered by the Axis and Allies gameplay engine. This marks the first time that Axis and Allies, stop saying Axis and Allies, a game involving controlling various theatres of war during World War II has had a licensed version. The new game will feature over 110 figures, including iconic G.I. Joe vehicles like the car, the helicopter, and the man in the mask, along with new strategic options pulled from the G.I. Joe franchise, like hitting the man in the mask in the mask. Players can choose G.I. Joe or Cobra while battling for control of the Arctic Circle.
That's a fucking slow week for news, isn't it?
Do you know? It took me years to realise that G.I. Joe wasn't the name of the main guy. That's what their unit's called.
Yes.
He's called
Duke,
Joe, though, isn't he? Oh, is he?
No, he's called
G.I.
Duke.
Duke. Oh, is he? Okay.
He's not G.I.
No, at least Action Man was just Action Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was
he not
from Gladiators.
Eagle-Eyed Action Man?
Action Man had a real name as well. I just can't remember it.
Jeff Action Man.
Yeah.
For the
Steve
Action.
For those who haven't heard it, because I have actually played Axis and Allies, it's Risk with more rules. It's not that interesting a game. It's
Risk's
a very
good enough as it is.
Risk is
very
great.
Risk is
Risk's
good
fantastic.
enough as it is.
Axis and Allies is like Risk, but more complicated. That's what I'm saying. It's like Risk with more rules. It's because it's an older game. Like
I'm not going to take the risk of buying that.
Way.
Boom.
Yeah, it's not very fun.
Let's move on. Next.
Okay. Film and TV next. Barbie has officially passed $1 billion within 3 weeks of release, and Oppenheimer has passed $500 million.
Brilliant.
Quick note on that. I did actually listen to last week's show, and I heard you talking about Barbie extensively, and I agree with Stig and Gadget over Candy on that one.
Oh, you
I know
went to
Candy was a bit off.
You went
on
to see
it,
Barbie,
wasn't
did
it?
you?
Yeah.
I went to sneakily see it. Yeah, I went to sneakily see it. But funnily enough, the wife was very similar to Candy, so I think.
It's weird,
I think it's
isn't
a
it?
male thing, innit? Males are like, it's great, this for women.
Or maybe that's the case. I didn't
she was
dislike it.
very
It just
similar
didn't
to
tickle
you.
my
We're
We're
taint.
just feminists, mate. We support
Oh,
women.
So
allies,
feminist.
allies.
Yeah. Candy just hates women.
I do.
Rachel, yeah.
She
There can
calls
be
them-
only
she calls them-
one.
She calls them competition,
Is
not
that Ben
women.
Shapiro doll behind you, Candy?
No, it's actually Ben Shapiro. He's actually that size.
This is the AI we were talking about. It's actually him speaking.
And my
Leave
wife
Ben
loved
Shapiro
Barbie.
alone.
She thought it was absolutely brilliant. I haven't had the chance to go and see it yet.
Good. Really
Well,
good. I actually liked Barbie more than Oppenheimer, which is a real shame because Oppenheimer was my most excitable film of the year.
Well, now that you've seen Barbie, Oodles, and you liked it, I can now officially set your ringtone to "I'm Just Ken" for when
Not
you ring
doing
me.
No, not doing it. Not doing it. I've had that all week, mate. I've had it all week.
I'm just happy that like original films are getting seen and
Same.
Absolutely.
mate.
and
Yeah.
absolutely killing it. So
I
I
mean,
know Barbie is based on a franchise,
even if
but
it's
still,
yeah, it's existing IP, but it's
Yeah.
still a very original film based on it.
And
Yeah.
Also, fantastic news for Oppenheimer. You know, the fact that it's a 3-hour, very talky movie, and it's made $500 million.
Great film.
Like that's astounding.
Great film.
I mean, it doesn't help me with my cry for more 90-minute movies.
No, it doesn't.
I do want 90-minute movies.
I do like a 90-minute
Yeah, I'm
film.
with you
I do.
on that.
I want to be in and out. If you know what I mean.
We see what-
Fine,
see-
yeah,
see what-
some are good and some don't. Some you
No
just
time for
can't-
poos.
Sometimes you just can't have a 90-minute movie. You can't tell a story in 90
What-
minutes.
What you should do, Planty, is
Well,
when
not
is when
Oppenheimer's, no.
is when Oppenheimer comes out on DVD or whatever, and you watch it that way. Just like set yourself like a little soundboard with some dramatic like EastEnders ending music halfway through. Stop it, and then you've got a 2-part film to watch the next night.
Fantastic. Everybody wins.
Everybody.
What a
wins.
tip. What a bit of advice.
Uppy, get out my pub.
There you go. Go see the new Turtles film. That's an hour and a half.
There you go. That's what I'm
I'm going to go
looking
see
forward
it. I'm going to go
I
see
wanna
Turtles.
see it.
I
Yeah,
fucking love
soon as
Turtles.
my cinema gives it subtitles, I will be going to see it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Next.
Apparently, we got a new trailer for Loki season 2.
I've fallen out with MCU, so I'm not bothered.
Yeah. Anyone seen it?
No.
Nope.
No, anyone care?
I
Doesn't
don't
sound like it.
I don't think Loki needed a season 2, if I'm honest.
I
Like,
liked it. I
no,
liked it. I thought
It
was
ended on a
great.
massive cliffhanger.
Well, no, but the cliffhanger was supposed to lead into the next phase. Like that's
But
what I
it
thought they were setting it up for.
But
I know it
didn't.
didn't, but it was. I mean, I haven't seen much of it, but it was supposed to because it was setting up Jonathan Majors' character, wasn't it? And like kind of getting everyone involved that way.
Stig, I can't hear you.
You can't just leave Loki like where he was at the end and just go,
No,
we're
you
never
can't.
returning to that. That's not like a
Not true.
No, you can't.
like that was.
I'm
set
not
up for
excited,
season
but
2.
I am.
Watch the
prepared
trailer
to
because
be
it looks
shocked.
more like
It's good.
looks more like season 1. Ki-Hu Kwan looks great in it. There looks to be some fun things going on with Loki.
Oh, I forgot he was in it.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the other characters from the first season returning. Don't know what they're doing with Jonathan Majors. He does appear in the trailer, but it's the clip that you saw in the post credit of Loki.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, was it Loki? It's one where Loki sat in a theater with Morbius, and there's a
It wasn't. It was. It was
Ooh,
Ant-Man.
what?
end of. Was that the end? No,
End of Ant-Man.
No,
It was.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
It was the end of one of them. Yeah, I think it was Ant-Man.
No, the end of Ant-Man was with all the Lokis, with all the Council of
Spoiler
Kangs.
alert!
Was the end of Morbius? Was that not Morbius in prison talking to Michael Keaton's character,
Yeah.
going, "What about this Spider-Man
Morbius,
character?"
not Morbius.
Fuck it all. Fuck it all.
Okay.
I'm willing to be surprised and enjoy
Yeah,
it.
Oh, you'll still
I'll give it a
watch
go.
it because you know we
I'll
will
give it a
Of course I
watch
will. I watch everything. I don't mean I love it. But fucking joke.
Gal Gadot says, "We're developing a new Wonder Woman movie," because that's obviously how she talks. In James Gunn's DCU, with
Biggie's
an
here.
interview with comicbook.com. Now,
Is that,
I've got to
is that
put-
the
I've
sound
got
of
to put
Israeli
this out
special
there.
forces coming for you there, Planty?
Yeah.
Free Palestine.
Mossad. Mossad are coming straight at him now. They're coming to fuck him up.
You might want to cut that out.
No politics.
That's what I'm saying. Cut it out.
The political beliefs of our guests do not represent the beliefs of the show. There we go. We've got a disclaimer now.
She's terrible, and I know. Stig, you've seen The Flash.
She's disgusting
And
to look at as well.
She turns up for I think like 2 lines. Like right at the very beginning of the movie, she does something to save somebody, and then she goes, "I have to go. My planet needs
She
me
flies
now."
off.
and up she. Oh my god!
Actually,
It's awful.
that's one of the things that I kind of like about the Flash is that the rest of the team actually turn up and help. You know, like I said in the MCU, that never happens. When someone's like facing adversity, the rest of the Avengers don't turn up and leave them on their own.
But they only did it
more on
under
that later.
duress.
Yeah, but at least
Trust
the
me,
team
Stig.
turned up.
Stig,
Rest
more
of the
on
team's-
that later.
At least the rest.
More on that later.
Trust me.
Trust me.
No.
Never. Next.
Zack Snyder wants to release a director's cut of quote unquote polarizing Sucker Punch.
Next.
Polarizing. Now,
Do it. I want a
that's
6-hour
one word.
version of Sucker Punch.
More
Isn't that
sexual
the film where
assaults,
it's
please.
just is that the film where it's just a young tiny girls in skimpy
Mm.
outfits film?
Yeah.
I never watched
Yeah.
it.
Lots of high kicking and upskirt shots.
I know
and
some
shit
people
like that.
liked it, but they look like kids to me. Maybe
I
I'm just
thought-
an old man. I'm just an old man.
The problem with Sucker Punch was, I think it was
Everything.
an 18. Well, yeah, I think it was an 18, but it was quite blatantly aimed at 13-year-old boys.
Yes.
Like none of that works. The soundtrack's pretty good, as I recall, but that's kind of where it ends.
It it has 22% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 47% audience score.
It's great then.
Ooh.
Great.
Banging soundtrack though.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Zack Snyder's first stab at a completely original film with 2011's Fantasia genre shoot-'em-up adventure Sucker Punch was met with mixed critical reactions, as we've just learned. Some controversy about its seemingly sleazy treatment of its primary female cast and
Seemingly.
didn't score at the box office. Yeah. But now he wants to see it reevaluated and mentions in a new interview with Letterboxd about plans for a director's cut. Partly, that's because he'd like to reinstate his preferred ending.
I've no idea. Never
Oh.
seen it. So I've no idea
More nudity.
what the
Shite.
ending is.
Yeah, probably.
So it's a PG-13. It's not an 18.
What?
Oh, is it? Right. Oh,
He wants to make it an 18 then, doesn't he? Clearly.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that even just like down to the names of the characters. Like the 5 leads are Baby Doll, Sweet Pea, Rocket, Blondie, and Amber.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's based on something, though, isn't it?
It's based on a
Based on a
anime,
comic
I
book.
think.
Yeah, so like, at least he did make them names up.
No, he didn't. But it's based on a graphic novel series and / novel series that's not that loved in the first place. He's just picked it from obscurity because it was a cheap IP to purchase,
Yeah.
and it had girls in it. That's what it was. You can. I bet he wished he could have had Kick-Ass or something that were popular at the time. The Boys, something that were big at the time.
Yeah.
But nope.
Crossed.
Thank
I
God he
would love
didn't
to
get the
see Zack
Boys.
Snyder's Crossed.
Oh, imagine. Imagine. Oh, fucking hell. Zack Snyder's Judge Dredd.
Oh, please don't.
That's how you ruin a character.
We've already had Sylvester Stallone as Judge Dredd. We don't need it again.
Why don't we take the helmet off? No.
Yeah, that's what people want.
Why don't we put Rob Schneider in it?
Oh Jesus!
He can reprise his role.
Schneider.
Rob Schneider as Baby Girl or whatever she's called
Baby
in
Doll.
this. Yes, please.
Now I'd watch that. I would watch that.
Rob Schneider ain't working in Hollywood ever again.
No.
Not with his views. Next.
Oh, has he been cancelled? About fucking time, right?
Got cancelled a few
Oh,
years back.
he went very right wing.
Oh, good. That's good. Talk to Me directors say a prequel has been shot. Don't talk to me. Talk to Me is A24's current horror film in theatres now, and according to sibling directors Danny and Michael Philippou?
Greeks, I think. they're
Philippou?
Greek.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay. I just read that like phonetically. They already have a prequel of some kind shot and ready to go. Oh, that's never good, is it?
Yeah. Sometimes it's like.
Well, they did Pearl at the same time as
Yeah,
X.
they did that.
Mm-hmm.
That worked well. People liked that. It was a critical darling, but not financially.
Well, yeah, but Danny Philippou's quote in this one: "We actually shot an entire Ducat prequel already. It's told entirely through the perspective of mobile phones and social media.
Can't
Oh,
wait.
that's a new idea. Excellent.
That hasn't been
That's
done
never been
several
done.
hundred times before, poorly."
Never heard of it. Never.
Well,
no,
I
haven't thought
actually
of
watched a film just like that recently, and it was very good.
It has been done well, but there's been a lot of duffers.
So if it's done well, it can be. Look at Host. Did anyone watch Host? That's a fucking
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Host is really
great
good.
film.
Yeah,
Like, done
Host
that
is
way.
pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And everyone says
Next.
this film's really good. So
Yeah, why not? Next.
George A. Romero's posthumous film Twilight of the Dead to shoot this year.
Mm.
Yeah, with Robert Pattinson, obviously.
Okay,
I
now,
watched
man.
that. I totally watched that.
A treatment he wrote before his death has been in development and is now targeting a late 2023 shoot date. Now,
When
I
was
love
the
Romero.
last? Yeah, when was his last good film?
Those last 3 movies that he made were pretty bad. Diary
Not
of the
good.
Dead, Island of the Dead, and Camcorder
Casino
of the Dead.
Land of the Dead, wasn't it?
Land.
Land of the Dead's pretty good. That's got Hopper in it.
Yeah, it's got Hopper in it.
Yeah,
big
it's got
time.
Hopper in it. He's great.
Land of the Dead's some
big
kind
Hopper.
of fun prestige. It's a bit. It's tongue in cheek, and then the other two are just not bothered with because I heard they were so bad. I just like can't be bothered.
They're just dull. Diary of the Dead's the camcordery one.
Yeah.
And it's just dull. It's just dull. There's none of that pastiche on like he's trying to make a thing like everything's getting filmed all the time. It's like, yeah, do it well then.
I think.
You know what I
I think
mean?
the problem
Just
was,
as well you didn't live to see 2023, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the problem is he was kind of the godfather in that genre.
Hmm.
His
And
first 3 films.
So his first 3 films were all brand new and something different with each one. And then people did it like when it kind of got to the time when he was doing them in the noughties, people were doing better than his ideas at that point. And
Yeah.
And the problem
I
was he
agree.
just couldn't keep up.
And people forget with the original Dead trilogy, they weren't horror films, they were social commentary films. And once you lose that, it's lost its edge.
Yeah.
Big style. It's not just about zombies biting people, it's about social commentary. Come on.
If there is some good news coming out of this, Joe Netta, Robert Lucas, and Paolo Zaletti, who worked on the treatment with Romero before his death, have since turned it into a script, which Susan Romero, George's widow, has teamed up with Roundtable Entertainment to produce.
At least,
you know.
at least they knew what he wanted. Yeah, fair enough. Next.
Vanessa Kirby and Joseph Quinn have been eyed as Fantastic Four's Sue and Johnny Storm.
she's very handsome. And he's very handsome as well.
Just rumours, isn't it? Again, they keep bringing all these rumours out. So,
What's wrong with Krasinski?
I mentioned Krasinski.
He's the best. He's the best.
yeah, but he's not playing Johnny Storm.
No, not, as Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Is anyone mentioning him?
No, not yet.
Too old, perhaps.
Reed Richards is in his 30s, isn't he? Yeah. That's true.
Or
That's true.
he's just qualified from college, according to that Fan Four Stick film. Remember that?
This is my issue. This is my issue that I like. I know as a comic book reader, you might think different, but when I see someone who is meant to be a super genius like that, I need them to have a bit of years on them.
Yeah.
I can't take a 20 to 35-year-old person being a super genius
like
who
Peter
does everything.
Parker. How does he do it?
No, but I need them to look like they know what they're talking about.
Well,
Give him some glasses at least.
That's the thing with
Give him some glasses.
Peter Parker works because he is a genius, but he's so unsure of himself. Like, you get away with him being a naive
He's
kid.
not in the comics, mate. He's a right dick.
No, but like
He's a proper dickhead.
in the best ways that he's represented.
So arrogant.
You couldn't have anyone playing Reed Richards who would say look younger than Robert Downey Jr. did in the first Iron Man. Like that's the kind of the base level of it. For someone from Reed Richards.
Like age I'd want to see, but
late
Ewan
30s,
Griffith
early 40s.
was good. He was good.
He
was good.
He was really good, and he looked like
More
every
on that later
representation
as well.
He looked like every representation of Reed Richards in the comic books as well.
Yes, he did.
Are we now beyond having to do an origin story? You know, they did it with Spider-Man, where they didn't have to do an origin story again. We didn't have to see Uncle Ben being murdered. We didn't have to see him getting bitten by a spider. Have we passed on from that? And we potentially could do
famous
with
comic book family.
older.
Surely we could just get rid of it and just say, we know what happened. Look at him. He's made out of rocks, that fucker.
Yeah.
See, I don't even really remember though. Like I've seen both the films, and I feel like neither of them made quite so much of an impact, and they weren't out recently enough that they couldn't redo the origin story. I could do with a refresher.
We know
If
what
they're
happened.
gonna
They go to
reboot it
space to get
completely-
hit by cosmic rays. Everyone knows this.
yeah, if they do an origin story though, then you're spending like an hour
First half
dealing
an
with
hour.
that,
Yeah.
and you have to just throw them in there. Fuck it.
No mention whether or not Billy Elliot is going to be Ben Grimm again. Billy Elliot as Ben Grimm, man. Jesus Christ.
You need
Bally's for rock people, Billy.
Yeah, you need a massive bloke to be Ben Grimm. That's the reason. Do you know what I mean?
Not a tiny little lad from
Well, it'll just
Teesside.
be CGI anyway. But that's what I kind of liked about Michael Chiklis. He was in a suit.
He was
He was in a suit.
Yeah.
And he sounded right. He got the it's clobbering time.
Yeah,
Damn,
but-
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
He did have a rock for a tongue as well. Which
I'll
is
say whatever
perfect.
that you want about those films, but I think some of the casting is great. Like, but
No, I agree. I
but
absolutely
just
agree.
the writing is.
More on the Fantastic
Not
Four
smart.
later. Trust me.
Where's she gone?
Next.
New Dungeons and Dragons
died.
source book features AI-generated art. Bastards.
We need Candy here for this
Uh-oh.
for this story.
One of the artists working on Dungeons and Dragons' newest book Bigby presents Glory of the Giants! ! Has stated that they used AI to help generate certain details or Polish, I nearly read, polish and editing. In a recent post on X, fucking X, on this site, formerly known as Twitter, Ilya Shipkin, who drew the art in question, has deleted his post, but records remain as screenshots.
Wow.
The
So they're already using AI art on books.
So this is actually Stig put me onto this. Wizards of the Coast actually did respond to this, and their statement on it was: today became aware that an artist used AI to create artwork for the upcoming book Bigby presents Glory of the Giants. We've worked with this artist since 2014. He's put in years of work into books we all love. While we weren't aware of the artist's choice to use AI in the creation of the process for these commissioned pieces, we have discussed with him, and he will not use AI for Wizards' work moving forward. And we're revising our process and updating our artist guidelines to make it clear that artists must refrain from using AI art generation as part of their creation process.
Surely, if how I'd see it is if they did use AI art, they can't get paid for it.
The funny thing about AI is, and I don't know if we've mentioned it on the pod before, but it's getting less and less.
Oh, we have.
Well, with the artwork, it's getting less and less intelligent because the art that it's drawing from is already AI created. So it's basically echo.
Yeah, and it ends up
So
looking
those hands
weird.
are getting worse.
Yeah, and it's also like this Ilya Shipkin, Shikapin rather, basically did this without Wizard's knowledge, without anyone's knowledge of it, and he didn't own up to it till people on Reddit found out a bit, like worked it out.
How can you tell?
So the pictures that they were bringing up were, they could see. You can usually see artifacts from AI art, like things don't look smooth properly. Like one of the examples they'd done was like one of the giants' outlines had been generated with AI, and then he'd basically drawn in the character around it. So like the proportions kind of look weird. There was one where the blade on the weapon, it had that weird stretch texture look that AI gives you, rather than like shiny metal. So it was stuff like that. Like it wasn't entirely done in AI, but there was enough there for people to notice. And I
think it's disgusting though.
Yeah, he only kind of confirmed it when people started bringing it up, and like it's basically hoping he would not get
as a
caught.
working artist. What would you do if someone came and gave you a tattoo design and said an AI's done that? Would you be like against it or?
No, not necessarily. As long as it didn't look ridiculous, like I would normally like. The thing is, when somebody brings in a picture, I would change it anyway. So it's never going to be exactly what. But yeah, no. If somebody comes in and they found a really cool image that I want an AI, why wouldn't I? It's fine as long as it doesn't look ridiculous.
But have you seen them machines that do tattoos now? What do you think about them?
That's not gonna do anything, because like I've seen people use, like they can use a 3D printer to tattoo, and they can also use a laser. Yeah. But the thing is that doesn't take into account people moving or people fainting or the way the skin reacts to it.
Or pulling your arm back going, fuck! And there's going to be a laser light down your arm.
Exactly. So I'm not worried about it at all.
Like that one on Starship Troopers, remember that one?
Yeah. And pours whiskey on it.
Roughnecks forever! And they're going to pours whiskey on it. Yeah, one of the Belushi. But is it Belushi? Is Belushi one of their brothers?
I did the middle class version
one of them
that.
Anyway.
By accident once. I got my hand tattoo, and then it was our last day of Christmas, so we cracked the champagne. So I christened it with champagne. So that sounds so bougie in comparison.
When my mate did my thumb with a pin and a lighter, they put ouzo on it.
Oh, fuck off!
And it went septic.
Right, and set it on
and
fire.
I lost my thumb. I nearly lost my thumb.
Better than drinking it, though, I guess.
Yeah.
God, good times. Back of transit vans touring the British Isles. Yeah. Good times. Next.
The Witcher book series is getting a new edition 10 years later.
Fantastic news.
The author of The Witcher books, which inspired both CD Projekt Red games series and the Netflix show of the same name, confirmed that he's working on a new addition to the novels. It will be the first new Witcher book in 10 years. His name is Andrzej Sapkowski.
Close enough.
Sapkowski.
Andrzej Sapkowski.
That's what I said.
Yeah, of course you did.
Just without the accent.
Shame Biggie's not here for that one.
Yeah, that's what we were putting there for him, and I forgot he's away.
It likely won't feature any of the beloved characters. Geralt of Rivia. Cyrilla of Sintra?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ciri.
I thought it was. Because I only know a Ciri. And Yennefer of Vengerberg.
Yeah.
I think he has since come out and said Geralt will be the main character in the book.
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
It's apparently it's like a guide and adventure for Geralt, isn't it? It's not even in the timeline. It's just a Witcher adventure, which I'm all for, because his best stories are the ones which just Geralt being confused at everything.
Like The Last Wish.
He's a very confused guy.
5 stories of Geralt being very confused.
Yeah. He doesn't understand emotions.
Acquiring a child by accident.
Yeah. Fantastic. They're the good ones. It's when he did those stupidly long elvish. Oh God, the story about the elves is so boring in his mythos.
Oh, was that when Sword of
Tolkien
Destiny
did
or
elves
something?
well. God, Blood of the Elves and stuff like that.
Oh, that one, yeah, Bloody Elves.
Oh God, he did elves boring, mate. They're just like unionists. So boring. So boring.
They're working class without the working bit of it.
Yeah, basically, they're not working. They're just killing. Oh God, they're so dull. When the contemporaries do elves really well, come on, man, come on. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that in 15 years' time. Next.
Good question. NASA to launch its own streaming service later this summer.
I put this in. I'm fucking pumped. I know
Do
you
you
don't.
reckon
I
it's
know
just
you don't
gonna
love
be-
it.
Is it going to be films like fucking Mission to Mars, Apollo 13, Ghosts
I
of
will be
Mars?
fucking. I'll be fucking glued. I'll be glued.
Day
What do you
one,
mean NASA
Candy.
stream? Is it just going to be from Capcom Center where they're all going, yeah, that's fine, trajectory's fine?
Probably is.
And I'm assuming there's probably going to be
is.
some like live camera on the ISS or something like that.
God, it's so
God,
boring.
I hope so. No, it's not
But
boring.
no,
It's awesome.
No, imagine just getting like nicely buzzed and then watching like it, just like the ISS floating over Earth with some nice kind of
He hates
spacey music
space.
behind it.
You ain't gonna do that.
Ah,
Fucking
true.
crap. It's awful. It makes me
That's where
sick.
communism is
Yeah,
now.
but
though,
you're not
isn't
in
it?
space. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like space either, but I can watch space. I just don't want to be in it.
But you are in it.
But what? You're not thinking about the poor flat earthers that are going to see reality for the first time. The poor buggers.
They're not going to
They'll
believe
think-
it, though. Obviously.
No,
No.
this is fake.
NASA is launching its own streaming service. You're not going to believe this. NASA Plus.
How did they come up with that?
No fucking way.
Later
That's
this
a plan.
summer, which will grant viewers access to original video series and what's that? Faked moon landings. And live coverage of missions as the agency works to unravel the secrets of the universe and return humanity to the lunar surface.
I'm so
but
fucking
imagine
excited.
how ridiculous it'd be if this new streaming service was the first live capture of aliens and the US were like, fucking turn it off! Turn it off! They're fucking aliens! Turn it off! They've seen
No,
it live!
aliens are real now. Aliens are a thing. There's a big old court case. I'm glued to that as well.
Is
But
that
aliens are
really
in the dock.
aliens, or is it's a UFO? Because
Blip, blip,
a UFO,
blip, blip, blip.
a UFO could be anything that's in the sky
Which
that
is
you can't
unidentified.
recognize.
It could be a
Well, yeah,
military
but also
aircraft.
like this guy's saying that there's like recovered biological
Blink, 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 blink.
shit.
People have been saying that since the 60s. Like, fucking.
Could it,
They've
could,
got-
could it
they've
It's
got
just,
real this time. It's
could it just be
Imagine
a
it,
crash
though.
capsule that the Russians sent that dog up in?
Yeah. They've got some fucking alien in the dock saying, right, Squidip, do you swear on the Bible? I do not know what this is. This Bible. What is this Bible? Fuck that, it's bollocks, mate.
I would pay for it if it was, I don't know, old footage of Leonard Nimoy reading old sci-fi, 60s
Yes.
sci-fi, futuristic,
I would.
retro-futuristic sci-fi. Yes, please.
Just Carl
This
This
Sagan
is
on repeat.
what we call the microwave in the future. People will use nuclear energy to create warmer food.
Hey,
It's called
hey,
the
Ma,
microwave.
you really can rehydrate a pizza.
Oh,
We're
I'm
putting
fucking up for
space
that.
on demand and at your fingertips with NASA's new streaming platform. Explained
And he's
NASA
like, yeah.
Headquarters Associate Administrator for Communications, Mark Etkind. Just that once again, NASA Headquarters Associate Administrator for Communications. Piss off. He's made
I
that
don't.
up.
I don't know what that means, but do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna dedicate a corner of my house and do it up like Mission Control and just get
Oh,
high
God.
and watch that.
Just gonna
the
buy a
time I-
space helmet and put it sat there.
Candy,
Do you know what? I fucking
I'm
love
sorry,
being
you're not going to
single.
feel the warm embrace of a penis ever again.
I don't care. I've got NASA Plus.
Gotta get a
telling you.
spacesuit helmet connected to a bong and just like hotbox it.
Yeah, man. Oh fuck.
So
And she'll be saying to her
pretty
mate, Stace, come over for NASA parties. And Stacey's like, oh, do I have to? Do
She
you want to be my
will.
friend? Do you want to be my
she'll
friend?
she'd be well up for it. I'll get another chair.
Stace is more of a virgin than Gandhi is.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And the best
Oh,
Gadget
news of
see me
all-
and her land
I'm happy for you. That's what I am. I'm just happy for you.
The
For
best
you.
news here, Candy, for you is not only is it going to show insights into missions, handful of new series and live streams, it's going to be available to view entirely free of charge.
Yes.
There you go.
That's how you do it, NASA. That's how you do it.
That's how you
That's
get
how you
people to
scare
watch shit
Netflix.
that nobody wants to
'Cause-
watch.
Because us virgins are broke. Do you think like astronauts are going to have like gamer tags and stuff now, like and subscribe, and they're going to have like Twitch off?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm all for
Think
it.
about all the money you can spend on Magic the Gathering cards now because you're not spending it on NASA Plus.
This is like she's all up for it now, and the first stream she's gonna be watching it, and fuck all's gonna
Boring.
happen for an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
This
Unsubscribe.
is shit.
Deleting this app. This app's shite. Oh, God.
No, because I
Next,
can pretend I'm in the
please.
control room. It's going to be ace.
You can't, can you?
I can.
You can't. You're a woman. They won't allow it.
We're too emotional for that.
Oh, Jesus. And finally, from the weird world web, larders are making a comeback after Ukraine invading despot leader Vladimir Putin ordered his men to drive Russian.
The larder is back. I remember my mum's larder. What a car.
I used to live round the corner in Bradford.
In a larder.
Bradford's premier larder dealership.
Oh, yes. It was the height of sophistication. You had a larder, you know, shit was going down. It was going down.
You know, shit was going to fall out the front of it. Yeah. Officials in Moscow are swapping BMWs and Mercedes for homemade motors after the president said they should support domestic manufacturing to combat war sanctions.
This car is very good. It's very good. It will run on coal. It's coal alone.
That's actually not the only thing they've done as well. They've made their own off-brand McDonald's.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Wow.
So all the McDonald's that got like where
McSickles,
where they're pulled out, they've made like off-brand. They've kept them as fast food restaurants, but it's like an off-brand McDonald's.
From
coming to America, McDowell's is it? So,
is it called Five Comrades?
Yes.
Within hours of Putin's edict, Vladislav Danakov, deputy chairman of Russia's lower house of parliament, posted a video of himself driving an electric Moshvik 3E. He's quoted as saying, "It drives quite well, it seems to me. It's a bit noisy, but overall, it's okay." Wow.
Coal power. Yes.
King of Castle, here I am in my car.
Have a chair. That is Borat's accent. It's Russian.
Yeah. Russian parliamentary document shows he owns a Mercedes S450, which has a top speed of 155 miles per hour. By comparison, the Moshvik 3E has a top speed of 87 miles per hour.
when he drives his other car, though, he has to put a disguise on so no one sees him driving his nice car.
Yeah. You know why they've limited it at 87, haven't they? Because he was a big Back to the Future fan. Not risking that happening. He is not risking that.
It's because it's got a hairdryer for an engine.
Do you know what? I actually saw a TikTok today. A Florida man tried to crash his car, trying to go back in time.
It's true. It works. It works. What do you mean? It works. I mean, you have to have a titanium car, though.
It is Florida. It's still in the 60s.
Yeah. Oh. Excellent. Was that the news? I tell you what, I enjoyed that news.
Just found that article, Stig. Florida man crashes Dodge Challenger in an attempt at time travel.
Yeah.
Failed time traveler destroys 2 businesses in a strip mall.
Yeah, he's going to time travel in prison, isn't he? He's going to lose years.
And that's all I've got. So, how did you like my news?
I thought it was fantastic. We went extra long on that news because I enjoyed it so much. It was nice. It was a nice change of pace. Loved it. You've got the job,
champion.
When he's not here, because he does hold. He's a shareholder, Biggie. Unfortunately, like 75% of shares. I think he's the CEO. Really, secretly. That's why he can have 4-month holidays or whatever he's on, while us workers stay at work. But let's move on to the main topic. You guys decided this last week in your infinite wisdom. What was it?
Planty decided it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I was asked nicely.
So it's a patron-produced and starred episode.
In a way.
It's good to know you pay attention.
I don't even know what this podcast's called, mate. What is it called? The Oodles Experience?
Fuck no. Yeah, Planty came to us with this one, which was basically write an ending to a franchise, potentially one that you've basically hated the ending of, so you wanted to change it. We decided between us that Game of Thrones was too easy, and that was out of bounds.
Shit.
And that I extended it then to cancelled things as well. So things that were cancelled that never got a proper ending. So
good. It's good. It's good. Gets the brain juices going. I've got quite a few myself, but we're going to start. We're going to give Planty a rest because he's been talking. We're going to go with Major Candy of the USS Enterprise.
Well, direct from Mission Control. Yeah, honest to God, I could not think of anything this week.
Excellent.
Sorry.
Stick, what you got?
So she came up with NASA Plus.
No, because that's got a good ending. I know it. We're going to go to the moon. It's going to be fine. I'm going to be in control. But yeah, no, I kind of bent. I bent the rules a little bit. Oh yeah, being in control of the moon, Moon Daddy.
All right, Groom.
Just dropping cock on it.
So anyway, sort of bent the rules a little bit here.
Ridiculous.
And by bending the rules, I mean I just completely broke them, because the show, it neither ended badly nor was it cancelled per se, but it didn't receive a much expected third season that everyone had hoped for, and it's one that I know it's spaced. So I'm here to write this season 3 that we never received.
Tick off your bingo cards, guys. You mentioned space.
Yeah, I know. Well, I just couldn't think of anything. I had to go with something. Okay, actually, I was going to go with Californication, because the last season of that was fucking awful. But
I thought you meant the song by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I could not remember enough of the series to cover Californication. So that's what I would have done had I had time to watch it this week.
Hang on, the Red Hot Chili Peppers have a song about California. Get out!
I know.
Surely not.
Know.
Do you know what? I had a dream about the Red Hot Chili Peppers the other night. They were all naked with their dicks out, and Auntie Nikitas had a really long one. Anyway, moving on. So we fast forward 3 years from the events of season 2. Tim and Daisy have been in a relationship since the end of season 2, but it's on the rocks. Tim has a new job with Darkstar Comics. The massive wanker previous boss has retired, and Tim is put in a senior position. His dream of a house in Hampstead Heath with a studio is well within reach. Mm-hmm. Daisy was briefly employed by Flaps magazine, where her reputation as the office clown and losing files has caught the eye of Grazia. So she'll be in Maui to interview Bowie and Malaga to interview the Gallaghers, and a dream of travelling is clashing with Tim's dream of settling down. Meanwhile, Brian and Twist have taken their fashion/art show on the road, and the basement apartment is empty. Marsha has been watching the prices of housing in Greater London skyrocket and is eyeing up a retirement in an Italian vineyard with money from the house sale. And Mike is doing 6 months for robbing a tank again and taking it to Parliament. Tim and Daisy give Marsha 3 months' notice that they live in the flat, and Marsha puts the house up for sale. The friends are lost, and through the course of the episodes, a 6-episode season as always, with the first episode setting the scene, the last episode resolving it, and the 4 episodes in between focusing on the individual friends. So the episodes tell a tale that, although all of the friends' dreams have come true, but maybe possibly not Mike's, it was the house that glued their friendship together and made them become a family. But glued together in their dysfunction and where they found true happiness. So, echoing back to Daisy's idea of a metropolitan hangout for artists and writers in a Warhol-esque studio, they set up the house as such, all while pursuing their dreams. So, Marsha's flat is turned into a cocktail bar, while Tim and Daisy's flat will remain untouched but used as a writing and art studio away from their home in Hampstead Heath. Brian's flat will be used as a 24/7 art installation, which basically him and Twist are just living in. They're just living in their flat, but going about their daily lives, but people can come in and view it. The installation
Beamish.
will be called The Flat.
Like Beamish.
Mike gets early release for good behaviour and becomes security for the now highly rated art installation. He's renovated a tank and is living in it as a tiny house outside.
He's still wearing a beret.
He's still wearing a beret, yeah. He's still attacking neighbourhood cats and whatnot.
Good.
The friends are still united in their love for the house and live happily ever after. Yeah, sorry, shit. I know it's shit.
No, I like
can't think of anything else.
I tell you what, though, that's made me think.
Perfect for a child.
That's made me think that imagine
Bobby
a space reunion now, just like a 3-part space
Oh,
reunion.
wouldn't it be good? 20 years
See
later.
what happens to 20 years later. See where they are. That'd be so fucking cool.
Space is 25 years old next year. Isn't that incredible?
It is
Don't make me
incredible.
feel old like that.
And in fact, surely now, finally that I'm on one of these with Candy, I can now talk to her about my proposition for a podcast, Space Rewatch podcast, called Nobody's Listening.
Do it.
Please let me
Let's
join
make it happen.
Yes!
Do it.
Let's make it happen under the modern escapism banner.
Yes! I'm so excited for that.
We've bought Planty. We finally bought him.
He's in.
You can't
Build him
shoot
now.
straight, you big-titted bitch.
We can do it. We can do it
Something
after
about
Kenny
a key.
Potter. It's perfect after Kenny Potter, that.
Eh?
Get it
There you
done.
go.
Oh,
There you
I
go.
love it.
Get it done.
Yeah.
We've bought Planty officially. You've heard it here today. We signed the
And it
document.
only cost £1.
And it only cost £1. But good. That were good, kind of,
£3
because it made me
technically.
feel like I'm going to pull out my DVD again and watch Spaced again. Because
Please do.
it's
It's been
just so
lovely.
good,
do.
isn't it?
It's perfect.
It's just so
I
good. It's
still-
snapshot
still-
of its time.
I will still never get over the first time you meet Tyres. And just the way the song builds up with like the sound effects in the room.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh, that was close. He almost went disco on us.
Almost.
See you
I'm gonna
friends
go next.
later.
I'm going to go next. I've got 3 little ones. The first one is the Shawshank Redemption. Right. Everyone knows the ending. By the way, spoiler alerts, listeners. There's going to be a lot of spoiler chat. Shawshank Redemption. The ending, as we all know, ended with Red being out of prison and waiting a few years for Andy Dufresne to come and meet him off the coast of Mexico. And it happens, and everyone's fine, and they have a loving relationship together forever after. My ending's different. I wanted a more bittersweet ending.
He gets
to that
stuck in the
film.
pipe.
Fuck off! That's what I'm talking about! So,
Death by
my,
effluent.
They get like
my ending treatment
You know
was...
when your pipes get stuck at home and the guy gets come with that big hose,
Yeah.
and they get
Yeah.
shoveling that, and
Prodding him
that was
out.
the thing. Frame's
So
body
what
just slithers out at the end.
It's just spoiled my ending, but it's perfect. So what happens is, Red is off. He got out anyway. He served his time, and he's sanding his boat in Mexico. What he was doing at the end of it, whatever he's doing, he's either varnishing or sanding a boat. I can't remember.
Wax on, wax off.
He hasn't,
Yeah,
he hasn't
Yeah.
moved. He literally does that, and people come by and go,
All
"What's he
day.
doing?" He's just, all day.
He's waiting for
All
his
day.
friend. So yeah,
Waiting for the
he's
tide
waiting
to
a
come
bit-
in.
In my ending, you just see Andy crawling through a mile of shit, and he's crawling through it, and that's it. Stops. It goes to black, and then we go to Red, and it says 4 years later, and Red's still sanding his boat, looking over his shoulder, like, "Where the fuck is Andy?" Dufresne?"
Sanded through the bottom of the boot.
There's no boat left. He's sanding into the earth, and he's getting old and weary, and he wipes the sweat off his brow, and someone. Hugh boy, what day is it? Not that kind of thing, but a boy comes to him with a note, telegram, because remember it's still the olden days, and he reads it, and it says, Andy Dufresne passes away. By the way, because it's 4 years, they didn't find he went missing, right? In Shawshank, he went missing. They didn't find him in that pipe for years after. I've had him rotting in the pile of shit till the day he dies. And I think because there was a flash flood as well, wasn't there?
Yep.
So it makes sense that he drowned. He drowned in shit.
Was he
Wouldn't
bloated,
that be-
looking like the guy out
Yeah.
of Seven?
Yeah, all bloated like a bloated zombie and stuff.
You know that meme? Thanks. I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me right now.
Yeah, that's my first one. A bittersweet
fixed it.
ending. I fixed it. My second one is, I told you we'd talk about it, Fantastic Four, the original film. The sequel, The Rise of the Silver Surfer. Who remembers that one?
Ooh,
I mean, you could
Lawrence
redo all of
Fishburne
that film.
wasted. Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne Wasting. So, the ending to that film is the Cloud, formerly known as Galactus, comes and tries to gobble the
Oh,
Earth.
fuck, Galactus was a cloud. Oh,
Yes.
no.
So my ending,
It's when
again,
they were
another bittersweet one.
too scared to lean into
They were too scared.
the comic like books, weren't they,
Galactus, at
properly.
the end, the Silver Surfer, the herald of Galactus, letting the planet know, guess what? You are the chosen ones. My lord is coming to eat you. Oh shit! What do we do? Guess what? Reed Richards, Sue Storm, they can't fight it. Silver Surfer's too good. And the ending is he comes in on his space throne, Galactus, whoa, and his space throne, massive. He eats the moon first. You can see it from Earth. Oh fuck! And then he just gobbles Earth up. That's my ending. He wins. Galactus wins.
You've gone for
And then
bad
we find
endings
out-
here.
We find out that it was Earth 313, not the Earth that we all know and love. That's my
Fucking
ending.
throwing in the multiverse right at the end there.
Needs more Unicron.
It just,
Yeah, well,
it just-
Unicron turns up.
It just pans out, and you just see another Fantastic Four looking at it through a viewer screen. Like that's like,
Yes.
thank God that wasn't
That's
ours.
right.
like the
That's such a
Simpsons. Thank
fucking-
God that wasn't us.
It's a Simpsons
basically.
Futurama joke, that one.
That's basically what I had, where like Doctor Strange is looking through one of his portals into the multiverse. He's like, see, that's what could have happened. The end.
Do you reckon it does
That's a
that?
better ending. That's a better ending. Because that's what.
Doctor Strange does that, opens a portal, just looks through and shit's happening. He's like, nah, just closes it up.
Yeah, closes it. Just closes it. I love it. That's the ending. That's the ending. And the other one, Gadget. Anyone that's playing Red Dead Redemption 2 needs to take their mic.
I've got to edit this, so I might as well just stay here. I'm going to hear it anyway.
No, you can't spoil Red Dead 2 for him.
No, don't spoil Red Dead 2. It's so good.
Well, let's change the ending. That's all I'm going to say then.
Okay.
The ending has been changed.
Okay.
Done. That was my big bit as well. That was my big one.
You've made some terrible decisions throughout your choices, but nothing worse than changing the end of Red Dead 2.
Also, he's playing it right now for the podcast.
Well, I just think it could have had a better ending. That's all I'm saying.
That's my
Who
boy.
else is going to go? Let's go to Gadget.
Okay, so
Ruin my bit.
well, I'm going to ruin your evening because this is I'm talking about an American sitcom here.
I don't know any.
So I'm talking about the absolute atrocity that was season 9 of How I Met Your Mother. So the general premise of the show is it follows.
I didn't know there were one series.
Well, there's 9 seasons of it. It follows Ted Mosby, who is recounting to his children the tale of how he met his mother. The problem is that the entire series is actually him talking about him shagging his way across New York and bad decisions that he makes with him and his friends until the 9th season when he actually does meet the mother. There's a lot of lead up. Like, these kids must be really bored of hearing how much of a bit of a womanizer and pathetic troll their dad is. Oh, I did quite enjoy the show.
Is that the concept of the show, that he's telling his kids every episode?
Yeah.
It's basically, the whole concept is like, this is how I met your mother.
For 9 seasons.
For
So
9 seasons.
Before that, I'm going to tell you all the
Whose kids are
context
adults?
of this and this and this and this. Like,
Yeah.
my kids asked me how we met. Oh, we met in Morrison's.
So, yeah. And
I told mine that I fingered the mum outside bar I met her in.
Oh, God.
lovely. But yeah, I mean,
I didn't, but
I mean, one of the general criticisms of the show is that it is mostly talking about Ted's dating life rather than him actually talking about meeting the mother. So I'm going to
weird concept.
Yeah, it's basically it's kind of like a antithesis to Friends because it's like a 5-person cast. So
Is it good then?
Yeah, it is good for the most part. It is quite good. I really enjoyed it as an American sitcom goes. So Ted is your primary character. Then you have Marshall and Lily, who are kind of a bit more of a professional couple. They're kind of more put together. You have Robin, who is Ted's love interest for the first couple of seasons, but also just kind of then becomes one of his best friends. And then you have Barney, who's played by Neil Patrick Harris, who is an arch womanizer. And
What? Neil Patrick Harris?
yeah,
Nice.
this was before he
that's not
came.
typeset, is it?
Well, this is before he came out as wildly gay.
Oh, really? I thought everyone just knew.
No, I mean, no one really guessed, despite the fact that he'd been a Broadway performer for a very long time and best friends with Nathan Lane and people like that. And
He'd been to medical college at the age of 12.
Yeah,
it was Doogie Howser.
he was.
Against my wishes.
So, throughout the early seasons of the show, there is this kind of back and forth story with Ted and Robin kind of being into each other. And they date a couple of times, and ultimately, by the end of it, decide that they make a terrible couple.
That's not the mother, then?
No, that's not the mother. Ted spends a lot of time pining for her. She pines for him. They get together for a bit, and then they break up, and then realize that ultimately they're toxic for each other. So
is this the spin-off from Friends that you talked about? That
no,
time?
it's not. It's not a spin-off.
No, it's just Joey.
Yeah, that was shite as well.
Oh, it's just Joey. I've never watched. No.
So eventually, as time goes on, Barney and Robin get together, and that's what the season 9 is around. It's based around their wedding.
Okay.
So the first kind of 2/3 of the season is the events leading up to the day of the wedding. Like, each episode is like an hour of that day leading up to the actual time they get married. And chaos goes on, but Ted meets the mother after the wedding because she is the cello player for the wedding, and he, after seeing his best friend marry the woman that he believed he loved, he's dejected. He goes to a train station to go back to New York, and he runs into Tracy, the mother, and it's like a love at first sight thing.
No way.
And then you get the remaining third of the season, where you get kind of some of her history, like all the kind of random little intersecting moments where like Tracy and Ted got close to each other, but never actually met. You find out like a bit about their lives after the wedding and kind of what happens when they have children. And ultimately,
shite, mate.
Just listen, man. Just let me get through this. And ultimately,
Why he's fixing it? Because the last season is shit.
Good.
The story goes in. Tracy ends up actually dying of an illness after they have their 2 kids.
Oh, now I feel bad.
And then Tracy gets ill and dies about 6 years prior to the time of Ted telling the story of how they met.
Wow.
And I'm reading this from Wikipedia. Upon finishing the story, at the urging of his kids, Ted decides to ask Robin out. Alluding to the first episode, the finale ends with Robin as she looks out of her apartment window to see Ted holding a blue French horn, which is a symbol of their relationship, smiling with tears in her eyes. The kids actually say, Dad, you've told us this story. It's not about our mum. It's about how into Robin you are. Go and be with her. It's the fucking worst ending because it ruins all of the character development that they had in up to that point. It gives Robin and Barney a bad ending because they get married and then ultimately divorce because they end up being bad for each other. Barney goes back to his womanizing ways, and it just ruins everything. So, and I was really mad about it, and the fans were very mad about it at the time. So this is my treatment for it after that complicated run-up as to 9 seasons of a TV show. So most of the final season will happen the same way, primarily focused around Robin and Barney's wedding and all the chaos and weirdness that comes with it. Ted will meet Tracy in much the same fashion, sad and dejected, having watched Robin marry his best friend, at the train station in the rain waiting to get back to New York. But this is where things will change. So rather than a whistle-stop tour of their entire marriage, we'll see them date, we'll see them fall in love. Ted will encounter some of his exes during this period, and he will see them differently. He'll see them negatively rather than seeing them wistfully, which I think he's quite bad for throughout. Like, because this show is laid out as him telling a story, there are weird affectations of memory and stuff like that. Like, there's one of his exes, he can't remember her name, so every time she appears, she's just called blah blah. Like, stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. I've had exes like that. I don't know the names.
There's a yellow umbrella motif. So anytime that in the story that Ted gets to the end of an episode and says, you know, kids, I didn't know it at the time, but your mother was at that party or whatever, you'll see someone walking with a yellow umbrella, and that's the symbol for the mother. It is what it is. It's just a way to signify that person was the mother, but you never see her face. So the yellow umbrella motif will follow them around as you see them date. Over the space of a few episodes, we'll get to see their romance over their first year before Ted proposes to her, in the rain, under the yellow umbrella. We'll flash forward to the wedding with Tracy revealing to Ted that she's pregnant, and Ted revealing that he's gotten a big bonus from work because he's an architect. A building that he's been pitching for like 5 seasons has finally been picked up, and he's gotten a big bonus from the firm. They can afford to buy a house outside the city to raise their young family. Barney and Robin's marriage will be a successful one, though not always argument-free. But Barney will continue to try and become the best version of himself for Robin, and she will meet him in the middle with her expectations, knowing that she loves him for him rather than trying to idealize him. Marshall rises the ranks. Instead of being a lawyer, he ends up becoming a judge, and then by the end of it, he becomes a Supreme Court judge, whilst Lily moves out of being an early years teacher to become a political force to improve schools and education across the US. They'll become a power couple and a force to be reckoned with, but they remain humble and still spend as much time as they can with Ted, Tracy, and the family. The finale will be a 2-parter, covering a chunk of their life as they raise the kids. And then, with Tracy then getting sick, the show will give the implication that she died, but never actually says or confirms it outright. As he finishes the story, the camera turns around to show the older Ted in his study in their house. He and the kids share a hug and leave the room. The camera pans around the room, showing references from the series as mementos. You get pictures of the cast, much like the ones that you see in the opening credits, the blue French horn, yellow umbrella, stuff like that. The camera will move to the window as Ted steps out onto the deck in the rain and leans against the railing, only for someone carrying a yellow umbrella to come out and stand with him, and then the credits roll. And that's how I see the ending of it as much better than what we were given.
Met my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending was shit, so that's much better.
In fact,
you watched it as well, Steve.
Yeah, I watched it all.
If I actually, funny enough, I saw this on the Wikipedia. Following a backlash from the fans over the ending of the series, an alternative ending was cut together and released on the season 9 DVD, in which future Ted narrates over the scene in which Ted and Tracy meet at the train station, recapping all major events from the whole series. He delivers the final line, "And that, kids, is how I met your mother." And the episode ends, completely cutting out the final scene where the kids tell him to go see Robin.
Good, because it's just so pointless. It's just so pointless. I mean, the thought of literally
sounds like the show was pointless.
Sitting there and telling your kids all this stuff you didn't need to know, and all this stuff that he seems to know, even though he wasn't there.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Have you watched it, Candy?
But
no, I never saw it.
To do all that,
New Planet.
To do all that,
no, not a frame of it. Not a frame of it.
And then Oodles, we stop being so fucking like fucking US sitcoms. Fucking hell, man.
I didn't say oh.
That's
I went.
Yeah, it's a really funny show. Anyway, but yeah, to do all that and then just to say, oh yeah, she died, so you can go have sex with Aunt Robin now instead. It's like,
They call her Aunt Robin as well.
So the
That's
kids,
just more fucked up.
no, well, no, the kids know the main characters as Aunt Robin,
friends.
Uncle Barney, Uncle Marshall, and Aunt Lily.
Oh, like my Auntie Tiger, who weren't my mum's sister, but she was still my auntie.
Yeah,
Was she a
it's like
tiger?
that.
No, she was wild though. I'm telling you now, mate.
So
I want to know more about Auntie Tiger.
this is
I'll get her on.
this is the problem with the series, and I think there's been a few series that do it, and it's kind of the same issue with Game of Thrones. Is it rushes to an ending that it doesn't need, and it undoes a lot of the character development that the series had done on, because unlike a lot of American sitcoms, the characters did actually grow. Like, it wasn't a case of you have a funny story and then the next episode is the next day and they're all back to start, you know? Like,
I got a turkey on their head.
no, none of that. Like you said, Barney is the kind of the poster boy for that, because his character is a horrific womanizer. Like, he is terrible to women. But as the series goes on, he becomes more inclined.
Falls in love.
Well, he falls in love with Robin and he becomes more inclined to be a better person. Like, a lot of the 8th series, when he's dating Robin, before they decide to get married, is like him trying to be a better man, like resisting the urges to like sleep with random women and to like change his ways for her. So the fact that his ending in the original series is him going back to womanizing sucks. You know, it undoes all that good work that the writers put in. So yeah, that one upset me, that ending, so much.
Yours sounds better anyway, mate. Genuinely.
literally just undoes
Genuinely.
every character act, doesn't it? Like, it's pointless.
And the thing is, I haven't
probably care.
I haven't actually changed that much from the original ending. I've just made it make fucking sense and not undone them all.
Yeah. Stick what you got.
Oh, strap in.
Oh God.
I'm fully strapped.
This is going to be quite long. Great. So I've gone with something that was cancelled and something that loads and loads and loads of people want an ending to.
Rob Schneider.
Right. So it's a film series. I'm going to end this film with a 2-parter. So this is going to be 2 films to end this film series. So the film opens with a flashback to thousands of years ago when a wounded Yuga Khan arrives on Earth. He finds himself weak and looking to replenish his powers by absorbing the life force of Earth and its inhabitants. But he's wounded too much and he succumbs to them. But due to arriving on Earth so thousands of years ago, an ancient civilization see him as a god. So they bury him in a temple and worship him. Cut to title screen. Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2, Rise of Darkness. Yeah, I'm finishing Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yes.
And I've tried my best noodles with the references here.
I like the first one.
Please tell me it's in 16:9 and it's in color.
Yeah, the whole thing is going to
Does it
take
start with Leonard Cohen as well?
8 hours for you to watch, 9 for the director's cut.
I did watch Justice League twice.
It's actually only about half an hour long when you take out all the slow-mo.
Yeah, a lot slow-mo.
Good.
So this is going to
Don't take
use
anything.
everything that Zack Snyder set up and nothing was ever done with, and that includes everything with Lex Luthor and the end from the other films and the end of Justice League.
John Johns, the Martian Manhunter.
Yep. So it's now modern day. This Justice League members have been working together to protect the world, and after the opening prologue, the film has a set piece with them fighting off the Legion of Doom. We see various fights around Metropolis with Deathstroke, Black Manta, Gorilla Grodd, and Metallo.
Metallo.
This is
You got it right
purely
first time.
just to have an opening set piece with some villains that really won't feature.
And you got Metallo in it early on.
Yeah, but
Into it.
it's never going to... I just needed someone that Superman could go against and was B-list and didn't really matter if they defeated, so...
B-list, how dare you?
I just went with what the internet said, mate.
You're coming for Oodles
Sorry,
here.
mate.
Lex Luthor, reeling from this defeat, seeks to gain a proper power. So he forms an alliance with the secrets. By the way, I've played fast and loose with some of this. A secret society called the Cult of Yuga Khan, led by Lord Agog. The cult worships the divine power of Yuga Khan and believes that the Anti-Life is the key to spreading the word word to every being in the universe, and that Luthor plans to harness that power. After failing last time with Doomsday, he's now, since escaping prison, he's tracked down technology left by both Zod and Steppenwolf, and he now knows how to use this properly. Luthor uses this new tech to wake something from Yuga Khan's body, and in doing so, releases some form of spirit which communicates with him and tells him what he needs to do to gain the full powers of Khan. The League receives a warning from Martian Manhunter about the rise of darkness and the impending threat. So to confront the impending threat with the guidance of Martian Manhunter, the Justice League embark on a journey across different dimensions and ancient realms to find the Book of Eternity, an ancient artifact that contains the knowledge on how they can defeat Khan. During the quest, in order to get the book, they are tested individually by Circe, is it pronounced?
Circe,
Yeah, a powerful sorceress who forces them to confront their weaknesses and fears. This sets up a series of set pieces for the film to focus on the heroes individually and expand on their characters, motivations, and whatnot. Meanwhile, Lex
and whatnot.
Yeah, whatnot. Just, all that shit that gives them a bit of character.
The whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lex Luthor gains access to a cosmic portal to Apocalypse and to an old Temple of Khans to retrieve his helm. This helm is the key to harnessing the power and transferring it to Luthor. Justice League complete their trials and manage to get hold of the book, but it's too late because as they get back, they find Luthor's now wearing the helm and manage to harness the power of Khan. Thus begins a huge battle between Luthor and the League. Agog and the Cult have been granted some powers by Luthor.
Is this still Jesse Eisenberg?
Yeah. This is all the same characters. This is Jesse Eisenberg.
The might of Jesse Eisenberg.
And he's going to turn into like full CGI,
the bells are ringing.
Full CGI, 15-foot mod. He's going to put the helm on and become like a big 15-foot CGI Jesse Eisenberg.
I am Mark Zuckerberg. Hear me roar.
Luthor's now more powerful than you could ever imagine, and the team struggle with Luthor because he's too powerful, even for Superman. They need to release the power of the book somehow, and Batman realizes that the only thing powerful enough to do it is Cyborg. Cyborg, whose body was powered and made using the mother box, must merge with the book using Superman's laser beams to power him.
Bat beams.
Yeah. However, this could kill him, but Victor is willing to take the risk. Cyborg, powered by Superman, merges with the book and releases such a blast of energy that it separates Luthor from the helm and Khan's spirit, returning him to human form. Unfortunately, as predicted, this does kill Cyborg. Superman eye beams the helm to dust, creating a huge shockwave, but completely vanquishing the power it holds. Heroes have saved the day. Luthor's locked away in the Phantom Zone, and the film ends as the team mourns Victor. In a post-credit scene, we see Superman by himself in the Fortress of Solitude. The camera pounds around to him, and we see his eyes glow in the same glow that Luthor's did, revealing that Khan's spirit has inhabited Superman. He releases a blast from his eyes into space as a beacon. The beam signals Darkseid's imminent invasion of Earth.
Darkseid.
Imminent invasion of Earth as we see him on a ship following the signal. That's film 1. So the
bells are ringing.
We still haven't got to Darkseid in film 2, even though film 1 set it up. Here's film 2.
I can't wait. I'm loving this.
The film opens during the height of an epic battle. Darkseid has arrived on Earth and drawn to the beacon from Superman. He begins to lay waste to major cities, causing devastation and fear. The Justice League, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and the Flash confront him, but there is no Superman. Where is he? We don't know.
Where is he?
They're even joined by the Justice Society at this time. We have Hawkman, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone. But it's no good.
Nice.
Darkseid, along with Granny Goodness, Caliban, and Darkseid. Is that how you pronounce it? No idea. Darkseid. There we go. And an army of parademons are just too much for the team. Superman finally arrives and the Justice League think they're saved. But to their horror, they discover that Darkseid has taken control of him via some... No. It's the spirit of his father. Somehow he's...
Mega beams.
Yeah, mega beams. There you go. He's controlling Superman's body. The League is left in a desperate battle, trying to contain Superman and Darkseid's onslaught. Hawkman, Atom Smasher, Cyclone, and Aquaman are all killed.
What? You can't do that.
Batman.
You haven't got the power, Zack Snyder.
Batman, Flash, and Wonder Woman retreat. They are defeated. Cut to credits. Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 3, Reign of Darkness.
Yes.
Film jumps 3 years into the future, where the world is now under the tyrannical rule of Superman and Darkseid. Together, they've brought Earth to its knees, enslaving its people.
We're in the nightmare.
And eliminating all resistance. Batman's previous apocalyptic vision has come to a grim reality. The world has descended into darkness, and the Justice League has been scattered and defeated. Batman, Flash, and Wonder Woman remain hiding, organising resistance against the oppressive regime. During conversations between them, we learn Philadelphia and Kandak were leveled, and that Shazam and Black Adam were both stripped of their powers. See, I'm thinking about the whole universe when I do all this.
Are you thinking about living in a society?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course
we'll get there. Yeah, because it never made sense. If you've got Shazam and Black Adam floating around, you might need them. So yeah, they're gone, just off screen.
Yeah.
Died on their way to their home planet. Batman now leads an underground rebellion based on Themyscira, which has still managed to keep itself hidden from Darkseid.
Missed.
Comprised of surviving heroes, fighters, and even villains who refuse to give up on Earth. They work tiresomely to find a way to free Superman from Darkseid's control and defeat him. The Resistance earns of a mythical artifact, the Helm of Naboo, that could potentially break Darkseid's hold on Superman. Batman and his allies embark on a daring mission to try and retrieve the helm. During this...
Of Naboo.
Is it... What?
The Helm of Naboo. I just love it.
Yeah.
I'm loving
During
it.
this, the Flash and Wonder Woman are captured by Darkseid's forces. However, Batman is still able to get away with the helm. This leaves Batman left with Mira, Deathstroke, and in a willing but unnecessary move, the Joker. And now here we are. We're in the post-credit scene.
Stood on a bridge.
Yep. Joker gives his whole speech before they set off. So Batman uses the Joker as a chaotic wildcard, as a distraction, so Mira and Deathstroke to rescue the Flash and Wonder Woman. What they discover is that Aquaman and the Justice Society were never actually killed, but kept in a prison in status, having their powers drawn from them for something.
Granny Goodness would have had that.
During this time, Batman uses the helm to infiltrate Superman's mind and have a psychic battle with him. Appealing to Superman's humanity, he manages to sever the connection with what was left of Khan's spirit. Superman breaks free from the ancient evil influence. He emerges from the psychic battle stronger, more resolved than ever, ready to join the Justice League in their final stand against Darkseid. We then have a big epic showdown on Earth's mightiest heroes against Darkseid, his lieutenants and their forces, a la kind of Endgame style.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
On your left.
Darkseid, wielding his Omega beams and harnessing the anti-life equation, possesses a formidable threat to the heroes. Whilst the others fight Darkseid's lieutenants and army, Superman, fueled by his memories of Cyborg's sacrifice, the memories of what Darkseid made him do, and the hope that unites the Justice League, channels his strength and goes toe-to-toe with Darkseid. Superman refuses to yield and leads to chain... where am I? Superman... I've wrote so much.
Stop pausing the film. Come on.
Leads the charge to weaken him. As the battle reaches its climax, the heroes find themselves pushed to their limits. After the lieutenants are all defeated, and it leaves many of our heroes wounded. So the final confrontation comes at great cost. Superman and Wonder Woman make the ultimate sacrifice, delivering a combined attack on Darkseid that drains their remaining strength, but delivers a significant blow to him. Darkseid is defeated and killed, but the victory is bittersweet as the Justice League mourns the loss of their fallen comrades, Cyborg, Superman, and Wonder Woman. The surviving members honour their sacrifice and pledge to protect Earth in their memory. The film ends with the remaining Justice League members, Aquaman, Flash, and Batman, standing together to face the future without gods, good or evil, because they've all been defeated. End.
Bravo.
So there's no Earth left to really care about, though, is it? Because it's all a barren wasteland.
Yeah, pretty much.
No different to what we've got right now.
That's why
Humanity will prevail.
all the gods and just left them with the...
I tell you what, you without realising, more or less wrote the Rock of Ages Grant Morrison run of Justice League. Without realising, because I know full well you've never read that.
I just used a load of references. I was like, right, okay, this here.
Grant Morrison would be sat here, I mean, he's still alive. He'll be sat in his leather trench coat going, yes, Stig, yes, indeed. And I love Grant Morrison.
Why I put this much effort into finishing off a Zack Snyder film, I have no idea. It's nearly 3 pages long.
More effort than Zack Snyder put in.
Yeah, at least I understand the references and the...
Incredible.
No, I liked it. That was
incredible.
I really enjoyed
Planty, follow that, dickhead.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? Right, there's no end of much love films. Classics beyond compare that have made millions of dollars in the last 50 years, but I think I can probably make some of the biggest films better with just one simple change to each of the scripts. Okay. First of all, Avatar. They all lived happily ever after in the forest, and there was no sea bit to make a second, far too long rehash of the first film.
Love it. Perfect.
Titanic.
Inspired.
Into that.
Jack finds
Titanic.
a much bigger door.
Inspired.
Love it.
He could have
Frozen.
got,
Anyway,
on
but
the
whatever.
door that was big enough.
Let's not get into that.
Easily.
Let's not get into that.
Frozen. Spring comes early, or global warming. Please, anything at this
Love
point.
it. Love it. Love it.
Kill off Olaf.
Meltdown.
E.T., the ugly short bastard, ends up in a landfill when the bike fails the jump with all those Atari games.
Every time anyone mentions E.T., I always remember that when he got pissed and Elliot tries macking on that girl. at
Hate
school.
E.T. Scared the shit out of me as a kid.
He's a pisshead. He's a little pisshead.
Gadget, that's the bit. Yeah, and the cross-dressing E.T., which, I am 100% for trans rights these days, but as a kid I was petrified.
We don't know what
by
gender
cross-dressing.
E.T. is. If it even is a gender.
Kramer versus Kramer. Kramer wins by knockdown in the 6th round.
Hey!
I love that film, by the way.
No, everyone loves that. It's a great movie.
Never seen it.
The Last Emperor. There is
Yes.
another. Warhorse, narrated by Gadget, and is just a nice story about his horse in a field in Kenton.
Warhorse, like?
That he punches.
Only when he steals his fish supper. Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't be having that.
The King's Speech. During a group photograph, the whole royal family is electrocuted. The only remaining in the land
I fucking knew he was going somewhere
an
there, like
uncouth
that.
American played by John Goodman. Might have already been done. We could have problems with that one. $1 Million Baby. Clint forgets the stool.
God.
Oh, fucking $1 Million
love that
Baby,
film.
man. Jesus
It's
Christ.
heart-wrenching, $1 Million Baby.
It's a great film.
Yeah. Darkest Hour, Schindler's List, Patton, The Sound of Music, Downfall. No, can't do it. Don't want to imagine a world in film where Nazis win.
Yeah.
I thought, where's he going? Where's he going with this?
And that's me.
Bravo.
Well done. Well done. Wow. And we've got no feedback this week because it was a strange topic, but worthwhile in the end, even though I was snubbed like I would be at the Oscars. As always, links to all our extracurricular activity is in our show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk.
Take Arthur
Planty.
Morgan's name out of your mouth, Oodles.
Oh, he's out. He's out. This out my mouth. Planty. Where could these listeners find you?
100 Things We Learned from Film podcast, where we're trying to learn 100 things every single episode, which is currently every 2 weeks until I move and John gets married. We're going to be back in the next month or so with 2 episodes. 2 episodes
Nice.
with more than 2 episodes a month. We're going to go back to weekly again. But I do want to just very, very quickly plug something I'm doing for Diabetes UK. I'm
Go for
doing
it.
1 million steps in 3 months, and I am currently,
What?
at last count, about 430,000 steps in.
I thought you were just going to say 430.
430 steps, yeah.
Got a way to
Went to the
go.
shop.
I got up
Nearly
this
there.
morning. Yeah,
Mate, no, seriously, you're nearly halfway.
yeah, I'm very nearly halfway in 6 weeks. Yeah, in 6 weeks. So I think I'll do it.
Wow,
I've raised
amazing.
£300 so far. If anybody wants to throw me a few shekels, it's step.diabetes.org.uk/fundraising/Mark868, whoever the fuck Mark is.
That'll be in the show notes, listeners.
Smashing.
And if you can afford charity, you can afford patrons as well. Join our Patreon. I'm joking. I'd rather you pay for that charity first. If you've got a spare quid,
Yeah.
give it to
Do
Planty instead.
do get involved in
You got a
the
tenner.
do get involved in the
Got a tip, you've got a
Patreon.
tenner.
Said, give Planty £3 and give us the rest.
It's all good value
Excellent.
for money.
Yeah, it's great charity as well. Great charity. But a fucking 1 million steps, man. Fuck that.
Mm.
I don't think I've done that in my life.
Yes, you have, man.
That's good. How long is that in miles, do you think?
I do about 6,000 steps a day.
It's the equivalent of Exeter to Edinburgh.
Wow.
Oh,
That's incredible.
Yeah.
that's a trek. Proud of you, mate.
It's brilliant because,
Excellent,
but
excellent.
unfortunately, it means I've fired through all the backlog of Modern Escapism, all the backlog of To Dragon's Dream and Scorched Sheep. So now I'm going to have to listen to, I don't know, some shit like Cult Connections.
Shit, son. And also look forward to the spaced episode recap podcast that we've just announced today, because that will happen.
I love the fact that I cornered Candy into that on the air. It's great.
Yeah.
You didn't even need to corner me. I love it. I love that idea so much.
I've never seen
I
Candy so happy.
I think it'll be great. It'll be great. But yes, if you are a patron, remember, this show's not over. But if you are not a patron, why are you so tight? Because it's over.
It's not over.
It's fucking over.
Well, it's not over.
It's not over.
Also,
I was just about to get to that.
How can it be over if you're going to get to that?
I was about to say, it's over after.
And
It's
then
Please don't say the fat lady sings. For
Bullshit.
fuck's
It's
sake,
not
don't say the way the fat
finished.
lady
It's
sings.
before you push it on to the next thing, Oodles, because we forgot this last week and you forgot it the week before. August the 20th, we're doing it live because it's our 3rd birthday.
Of what?
Us doing this live, you dickhead.
Oh, wait.
Twitch.tv/modern escapism.
You tell me every week's live.
I know that's
Why I'm here.
that's I hope you have some professionalism.
Always professional, me, mate. It's my roguish charm. People love that about me.
That's
They
the week
love
after
that about me.
next.
Yes. August the 20th, Sunday, August the 20th, we're going to record it live on Twitch.
Sunday.
Sunday.
We can't do it on a Sunday.
What do you do on a Sunday, man?
It's a Sunday night. That's the day the first we released the podcast. It's actually on our birthday, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Day of rest. That. Never mind. Is Biggie back for it?
Yeah.
Yes. It's his first show back.
Oh, we're flying him back over.
Jet lag.
Excellent.
Not that you'll notice.
But yeah, it's time for some Candyland goodness.
And now, what's up in Candyland?
Right. Okay,
Oh,
right,
no.
here we go.
Need a drink for this one.
Yeah, take
I wish
it.
I'd drunk.
Get comfortable. Take a sip. So just before recording today, I watched a video of a crab shedding its outer shell. Right. Tarantulas do this too. It's just repulsive and it's terrifying, and it's also quite dangerous for the animal shedding because it can like get stuck in its shed and it's all kinds of bad. But imagine like if humans had the same thing. Like, if we were consistently growing throughout our lives and we shed our
Like we
outer
are.
layer. Well, yeah, but like,
we do shed our outer layer constantly.
Every day.
yeah, but no,
What do
but
you
you
think dust
don't.
is? What do you think dust is, Candy?
I know what that is, but you don't unzip like down the back of your fucking body and then
I
get out of a new one, do you? Just take,
I do. Don't you?
Just indulge me on my flight of
Okay.
fancy.
We do indulge you.
So,
Too much.
so imagine if like that happens like every sort of like 3 years or something. Every 3
God, I
years.
can't go up to work. It's me shedding.
Well, that's what
I'm
I was
having
gonna-
a shedding event.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so imagine, like, it takes animals like quite a long time. It takes them hours, maybe days to shed. So I'm imagining maybe as humans going to take a week to 2 weeks. So that's it. You think we
Like
would
Victor
get like time
Toombs
off
from
for
X-Files.
yeah, but with less bile and less like
Less
newspaper on
spitting.
the walls and less stretchy. Eugene Victor Toombs.
Making a nest in your bedroom.
My bedroom is a fucking nest. You know this. But yeah, like, would you get paid time off? Like, you'd have to phone in one morning and say,
Like
oh, you know,
maternity.
yeah, but I mean, do you think you
Probably
need
not in
like
America.
the 2 weeks to shed, and then you've got like a week of recovery?
Not in the gig
But
economy.
also, like, you'd have to take like extra holiday insurance, wouldn't you? Like, if you booked a holiday, and then you might have an extra like a shed that you didn't know about. Like,
Yeah,
would
but put it into animal perspective. Like, when they've shed, they're at the most vulnerable. Are we at our most vulnerable when we've shed?
well, you would think, wouldn't you? Like, firstly,
Like, we're all squiggly and we like Zoidberg. You know,
That's what I'm
fucking
thinking.
When he sheds,
Well, I'm
it's
getting a new
gross and he's all-
shell.
yeah.
He's all like pink and stuff, isn't he? He's fucking.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, firstly, like, would it come at a predictable time? Like, periods come more or less like every month. Would it come more or less like
wouldn't
every
know.
3 years? And you have to like pre-warn your employer, like, I'm due a shed in about 6 months.
Oh,
Or
I'm
is it
sorry, boss.
completely
It's my time
random?
of the
Is it-
decade.
Exactly.
No, but
You know I
if
always
you
get
get
like this. I'm
so
sorry.
many people
I'm
on
sorry.
this
Younger
world
colleagues.
that everyone is just going to be walking around with skin hanging off them. Like
Yeah.
you will
Well,
walk
no,
around
no,
everywhere,
well,
and everyone
no,
look like some. Yeah, because there's too many people in the world that you can't all just be right. Everyone's skins on that day. It's like,
Yeah, what do you do
There'll
with the
always
skin?
be
It'll
somebody
always
shedding.
be loads of people around shedding, and you know what people are like?
Shedding,
They won't
yeah.
stay inside. They'll go out, and there'll be.
Well, no,
fact,
you would
no,
have to.
think
No,
of it
you
now.
have to.
No, think of it in the economy-wise. It'd create jobs. Shed cleaners.
Well, that's
The
another
people
point
that
I
don't
was going to
clean 'em.
make. So, right,
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's good
here
for
we
economy,
go.
this.
So, like,
She's
maybe
done the
you might come.
the maths
Firstly,
on it.
I have done the maths on this. Firstly, you might come out with like different coloured hair or something. But like he'd also like, I bet the fresh skin would be like super sensitive for like the first 6
Yeah.
months. Like you probably have to
wear
stay
like
out.
a cagoule.
You probably have to stay out of direct sunlight and like wear really soft clothes. So firstly, like they could be like,
Like you in general.
yeah, I wear trackies and stay out the sun. But they could be like shops that are perfectly, they just do like shed wear.
Like special dressing gowns.
Yeah, and it would be all like silken and really like soft cotton and Egyptian.
Oh, and just think as well, like if, for instance, there'll be like a group of people that shed similar times because they're all similar ages. Like Just Eat will be like shed special.
Yeah, or that
Like
it could, you
10%
could maybe
off.
you could maybe sync up your shed with family members.
Did somebody say
Yeah.
just shed?
Hey.
Did somebody say just shed? Yes. I
shed
love it.
I really do feel like there is the perfect "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" quote for this moment, which is one of Dennis Reynolds when he is asked if he has a collection of skin luggage, and his answer is, "Of course not, D. Don't be ridiculous. Think of the smell. You haven't thought of the smell, you bitch." Also, Candy, would that not screw your entire business model? Because every few years, everyone's tattoos would shed.
No, because they come
Would
back and you
it,
get
would
all
it
the new
screw
ones.
it, or would it be perfect for me?
Would it be better?
Exactly.
You
Like,
get
it would
bored
be-
of
I
redoing
think-
the same tattoos.
Well, it wouldn't necessarily be the same ones. Like you could have like a new tattoo. Do you know what? I think it'd be kind of cool to have a new sleeve every 5 or 6
I'm pretty sure
years.
tattoos are quite deep in the epidermis, aren't they?
But yeah, but if you're shedding, you're shedding the whole epidermis.
No, if you.
The same point.
That's what I'm
Whole
thinking. Like,
epidermis, so you're just
No,
like
it's-
fucking Hellraiser.
You look with your
it's
subdermis.
when a crab shell, when a crab or a tarantula sheds, it's
It's a
literally like
crustacean. They're arachnid. They've got the hard thing on the outside, unlike us with bones on the inside.
yeah, but you can still
doesn't
peel your
work.
skin off though. You can fully skin yourself.
The thing is, Candy,
So,
is
it's
I
a new
think
skin.
I think it's wrong. That's wrong. I don't think you get repeat business, because if I knew that I had to spend
You wouldn't do it.
$1,500 on my body every,
There'd be no
I'd be like,
tattoos.
fuck, I'm not going back. I'm not doing that again.
But you get a new car
love the
every
fact.
like
no,
10
I
years or so.
love the fact that I never have to get my chest done ever again, because I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
if it just peeled off, I'd be like, nah, not bothering.
And you may as well kiss goodbye to the tanning industry because tan would disappear. What's the point?
Well, I don't know
There'd be no
because
sunlight.
again, like you wouldn't have to worry about
Yeah,
skin
fuck 'em
cancer
anyway.
or looking old because you get a new skin.
So
But
you've
like,
cured skin cancer, have you, as well?
Or if
Yeah,
you ended
I
up with
have.
like shed cancer or something like that.
They
could
would
get
be
skin
you want
cancer.
human
skin everywhere. You'd be
crustaceans?
walking around Tesco and there'd just be skin everywhere. It'd be
Disgusting.
fucking
no, because you're
minging.
thinking about it differently to the way that I. So you're
There's
thinking like
8
of it like
billion
peeling
people on
off,
this
right?
planet. No one's staying inside
You'd
for
lose
6
your hair
months.
as well.
No,
You'd lose your hair as well.
Well, that must be
What's
you
the
lose
terrible.
it. So
Yeah.
the way I'm imagining it in my head is it
Awful,
takes
isn't it,
about 2 weeks, and it's not just like little bits of shedding off. It's like the whole like you're just peeling it down, like really trying to like get out.
So
you know, like a
once-
tarantula
You're a
does.
fucking
once-
horror, you mate. You're
Once
a
you've
horror.
know.
once you've shed your skin suit, what do you do with it?
You can
So
show
here's
people
what
some
I've
It's
thought.
like
slides.
luggage.
I've thought
You
of
sell
this.
it.
I've
You haven't thought of the
this.
smell, you
So,
bitch.
Firstly, would you be allowed to keep it as a souvenir? I reckon you could pay a company to like preserve your skin. If you have got
What,
tattoos,
in like formaldehyde?
you could make a carpet out of yourself, or a leather,
Oh.
or a leather jacket.
with wall hangings of yourself.
I
Leather
can
jacket.
guarantee if you took any piece of your carpet right now, there'll be bits of you on it.
That's fine. I don't mind. It's
watched a
only me
horror
that
film
lives
where they
here.
skin someone and they hold up the face and it looks horrendous, horrifying. No
Yeah,
eyes,
looks nothing
and
like 'em.
nothing in the
I
mouth.
probably wouldn't keep my face.
No, but it's like nothing in
It
the mouth,
puts-
There's no
nothing in the
bone
eyes.
structure.
Like, yeah, it's
It
like
puts
there's
the
no bone
lotion
structure
on
to
its
it.
shed skin.
Right, I'm
real
kibosing
like
this.
fucking
This is
leather
very
face here.
exciting.
This is the fucking write-off, and I feel sorry for every listener that's had to listen to this while eating
listen,
the dinner.
Let me finish. So,
Oh my word!
right. So it would have to be taken away by some like a proper biohazard company, right? But then they'd have to be criminal
Definitely
record
some
background
people.
checks
Shed
because
7.
in case they try and like clone your fingerprints, or they use your DNA to frame you for a crime you didn't commit.
Would you get the same fingerprints back if your skin rebuilt?
No.
You don't know. Probably not. Probably not.
Be fine then,
But
wouldn't it?
then
Mate,
you would probably
Gadget,
then
you would
have
lose
to.
your beard.
So every time
You'd probably
I
have
will
to
lose my beard.
register us. You'd have to register a shedding, wouldn't you? Then probably.
if your fingerprints,
Although,
if your
I mean-
fingerprints change every time though,
So
you
it'd
could
be
go
like
and commit
a
a load of
DVLA
crimes
for your
because then
skin.
you'd lost your fingerprints. Be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
You'd have to register a shedding though, so they'd have to.
I'm ending it. I'm fucking ending it.
All
You
right,
make
that's
me sick.
Candyland.
Thanks for listening. We'll see everyone else in the green room.
Fucking hell.
Bye.
Bye.
Is it all Andrew
AI.
Garfield porn?
It's deep fakes.
Right, okay.
Andrew Garfield and Maggie at it.
Now we're going. Now.
Right.
Challenging wank.